Okay, guys, let's talk about some good news for Rupert Lowe and Restore Britain, shall we? I suppose I should be talking about Howard Cox and that by-election, but to be honest, I don't really care who wins there. I'm not a supporter of Howard Cox. The guy's a civnat. He doesn't speak for me. He certainly doesn't speak for our country. Anyone who believes that anyone can come into our country can be British is deluded, in my opinion. I can see problems with this man down the road, so I don't really care who wins there tomorrow. Some point or other. Look, you can either be a nationalist or you can be what we call a civnat, and a civnat is not a nationalist. That's the way I feel about it. Okay, so we're going to be talking about Restore Britain in the polls. Before that, though, if you want to see a better story, get over to Vindicator Strikes Back. Boy, he's really going to town on the Patriot platform and Danny Tomo. I got to be honest, if I was one of those people who'd given my details to Danny Tomo, I'd be very, very worried. I almost gave money to Danny Tomo just after I started the channel. I think it was the first time I saw any of his videos, and I thought, oh, great. In fact, I was going bananas because I couldn't find my passport. Oh, I found it yesterday. It was inside my wife's passport. And I wanted to go over to France and help. But fortunately, I couldn't find my passport at first. And secondly, somebody warned me about him and to do a bit of digging. And after that, I decided to stay well away from the man and anything he was involved in. Vindicator really lays it out why people should be very concerned about Danny Tomo. Anyhow, let's get on to the story I should be talking about. Yeah, go over to Vindicator Strikes Back, check out his latest videos. Brilliant. Anyhow, this story isn't as exciting, but in its own way, it's just as important. It's a good positive development for Rupert and obviously Restore Britain. The important part of this story isn't the numbers that I quote, it's what is happening. It's the polling organisation, More in Common. Yeah, well, More in Common, they've now decided to include Restore Britain by name in its regular voting intention polling, which is good because people have been moaning about this literally from day one. Yeah, because up until now, if you wanted to show your support for Restore Britain, yeah, you'd have to tick into that wonderful political category called Other, yeah, and then you would have to type in Restore Britain. Anyhow, in its first poll, where Restore was actually offered to respondents by name, the party registered 4% nationally. I think it's a lot more than 4%. There's a lot of people who will be a little bit concerned to publicly identify with Restore Britain. There are people like that. People worried about their jobs, worried about where they live, that kind of thing. Anyhow, so I think this is good news. I don't think we should get carried away, though, do you? What do you think, Rupert? Should we get carried away? No. 4% doesn't mean Restore is going to sweep into Downing Street. We might have to take Downing Street, but I don't see us sweeping into it anytime soon. I think we've gone way, way, way beyond the ballot box now. Anyhow, so why did More in Common make the change? Well, they pointed out in I haven't got the link. Where did I do with it? The reason they made the change is they pointed to Restore's recent election results, which were 6.8% in Makerfield, 8.7% in the Greater Manchester mayoral contest, and 10.9% in the Norfolk Police and Crime Commissioner by-election. So not to be sneezed at, they're definitely on the map, and we know that they are growing. ignore any nonsense you read that Restore membership is dropping. It's not. It's increasing. And what else did the polling company say? Oh yeah, they were saying that people have started mentioning Restore spontaneously in focus groups. Well, we've seen that everywhere. You can't go anywhere on social networks without seeing local Restore branches and groups and cells. It's wonderful to see, actually. So they've had to wake up, haven't they? In other words, the pollsters have decided now that Restore Britain has become sufficiently recognisable that simply hiding it under other no longer gives them the best picture of what us voters are thinking. Of course, there could be other interesting consequences. Yeah. Once you actually put Restore Britain in front of voters as an option, I think that 4% will grow. Some might say, no, it'll stay at 4%. I don't think so. I think we'll see a dramatic rise above 4%. And then, of course, there's all those other people who in the past ticked Reform or Conservative or simply other. Now that they've got an option to click on Restore, will they do it? That's what I'll be watching. That's what Rupert will be watching. That's what you should be watching. Anyhow, so I suppose the big news from this is that Rupert is that Restore has reached 4%. No, that's not the biggest news. It's that one of Britain's established biggest polling organisations has decided that Restore Britain now deserves its own box. Yeah, and Restore Britain, it's still a comparatively new political party, isn't it? Membership is growing day by day, but its voice is getting louder and louder. Yeah, this is a milestone in the growth of Restore Britain. Well done to all involved, and good luck to all their activists. I do wish Rupert would address this problem, though, and define what it is to be British. And also I'd like to know what he thinks about the political lobby groups, like Friends of Israel. Yeah. Okay, guys, well, that didn't take too long. Now get over to Vindicator Strikes Back and read those 2 videos he's got out today on Danny Tomo. Well worth listening to. Vindicator is on a roll. Okay, guys, you've been listening to Paul Morris, the Green Arrow, saying, as I always say, well, sometimes I don't, depends on how I feel about Rupert and Restore. Aim high, vote low, Restore Britain, follow the bear. See you on the next one.